Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our podcast discussion on William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. My name is Gcinokuhle and I'm here with
Sanelisiwe.
As we have read the play, we discovered that there are many themes that are found, but we only chose to discuss only two themes, which is the theme of power and corruption,
And also the theme of loyalty and betrayal. One of the most important themes in Julius Caesar is loyalty. Loyalty is a virtue that's highly valued in the play, and many characters demonstrate loyalty to Caesar, Rome, and their fellow citizens. For example, Mark Antony's loyalty to Caesar is unwavering even after his death, as he says in Acts 3, Scene 1, quoted, "Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I'm meek and gentle with these butchers." These quotes highlight Mark Antony's devotion to Caesar and his outrage at the conspirators who murdered him. Loyalty also exists as a direct opposite of betrayal throughout the entire narrative of Julius Caesar. Two opposing elements exist in the play where Brutus and Cassius demonstrate their Rome-saving loyalty through protecting citizens from Caesar's oppressive rule. The play shows two sides of betrayal because Caesar and Antony lose trust from people who were nearest to them. Brutus' defection from Caesar stands out because it demonstrates the conflict between honoring one's people against saving the public good. Brutus presents his action as service to Rome, yet they stem primarily from his ambition to dominate and establish status over others. The most important example of betrayal in the play is when Brutus accepts participation in the conspiracy targeting Caesar. In spite of Caesar's trust in him, Brutus chooses to participate in the conspiration. In Act 2, Scene 1, Brutus says, quoted, "It must be by his death, and for my part I know no personal cause to spare at him, but for the general," in line 10 to 12. Throughout these words, Brutus shows his conflicted motivations. He claims no foundation for his personal dislike of Caesar, yet he sacrifices his friendship for the sake of Rome. Caesar's trust in Brutus. The trust of Caesar in Brutus is evident in Acts 3, Scene 1, when he ignores the warnings of the soothsayer and says, quoted, "Who is there that can tell me what I am, or what Brutus is, what Cassius is," in line 31 to 32. In Acts 3, Scene 1, Caesar delivers a final peaceful yet devastating blast to Brutus by saying the decisive word, quoted, "Et tu, Brute," and then he falls. Throughout the statement, Caesar shows his complete surprise and deep sorrow because Brutus has betrayed him. Caesar thought that Brutus was his true friend, whereas Brutus chose to betray him. This famous phrase that was said by Brutus before he falls down means that, "Endure, Brutus." I'd like to hand over to my partner.
Okay, guys, let us dive into the theme of power and corruption. Power and corruption are intertwined as characters' desire for power leads them to compromise their morals and values. To evidence this theme, in Act 1, Scene 2, we find Cassius. Is it Cassius or Cassius?
I think it's Cassius, but there's no master pronunciation.
Okay. In Act 1, Scene 2, we find Cassius as being manipulative whereby he manipulates Brutus into joining conspiracy against Caesar, playing on Brutus's sense of honor and duty. This shows how the desire for power can lead individuals to manipulate others. Moving to another example to evidence this theme. In Act 1, Scene 1 to Scene 2, there is Caesar's increasing power. Caesar's return to Rome, his triumph and his increasing popularity with the people demonstrates his growing power. However, this also creates a tension among the senators who fears his power. And then in Act 2, Scene 2, we also find the evidence of the theme of power and corruption. We find Brutus having a soliloquy, which is an internal conversation within himself. Brutus struggles with the moral implication of assassinating Caesar. His internal conflict highlights the tension between personal values and desire for power. Despite his thoughts for killing Caesar, he also feels bad about killing Caesar, as Caesar views him as a true friend or a loyal friend to him. And then in Scene 2, in Act 2 to Act 3, Scene 2, after Caesar's death, Mark Antony seizes power through his clever manipulation of the crowd and his strategic alliances. This demonstrates how power can be obtained and maintained through cunning and ruthlessness. And then in Act 4 to Act 5, and then we find corruption of the conspirators. As the conspirators face the consequences of their action, their initial motivations and values become corrupted. They become corrupted and more ruthless and power hungry, ultimately leading to their downfall. These examples illustrate how the theme of power and corruption is woven throughout the play, highlighting the dangers of unchecked ambitions and the corrupting influence of power.
In addition, the themes of loyalty and betrayal are central to Julius Caesar. These themes are timeless and universal, and they continue to resonate with audiences today. Through these characters and the plot of the play, Shakespeare explores the complexities and the human nature and the consequences of our actions.
Okay, before we close this podcast, I would like to also add on the power only, the theme, the power, without including corruption. A theme of power is also evident in the play, as you can see that in the play, the appearance of women is lesser than the appearance of men. And also, women are expected to praise their husbands, even if they are trying to make opinions. They are not. Their opinions are not.
They are voicelessness, I think.
Like opinions
are not heard.
Yes, their opinions are not heard. Yes, like for example, Kalpuna
tried. Yes, Kalpuna tried.
Yes, Kalpuna tried to
to
stop Caesar
From
from
going
ascending,
to the
yes,
meeting.
from going to attend the Senate meeting. But instead, Caesar didn't listen and end up
And also, Portia tries to win
Brutus.
mm,
Yes,
from joining the assassination,
yes,
but then
they didn't listen.
imagine if they did listen. Imagine if they did listen to their wives. Yeah.